Deputy Cooner, you were on duty in the information office last night when Miss Lamarr was brought here to the sheriff's facility.
Yes, I was, sir.
What happened?
Well, as it appears, Mrs. Lamarr was shopping at the May Company department store and evidently was arrested by one of the security personnel of the store. And Los Angeles Police Department's Wilshire Division was requested to come over and facilitate transportation to Sybil Brand Institute. Now, I first heard about it from the Institute by a Lieutenant Wilson of the Sybil Brand Institute, and she called me and notified me that Miss Lamarr had been arrested for petty theft through May Company department store. I advised the local press of it, and then there were more information coming in from time to time about it. Evidently, she had been in the store and appropriated some items and slipped them into her purse and walked out of the store and was detained by the personnel of the store in the parking lot. And about this time, it was at the time of her arrest, it was apparent that she had something like approximately $14,000 on her, but she had still taken about $80 worth of merchandise, so she had been placed under citizen's arrest by the store and brought to this institute.
See, the Los Angeles Police Department brought her here to the county facility, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And this, in a sense, is the women's what? The women's jail for the county?
Yes, that's right. This is the only institute of any size that has any facilities at all in the county for women personnel that have been arrested or detained.
Well, when she was brought in here, what happened? Was she given the usual prisoner treatment, or was she in and out quickly? Sometimes I know you bring them in and put them through a bath and everything else. Did you do that last evening?
No, it wasn't necessary. Evidently, she was brought in here about 12:30 in the evening and released about 1:15 in the morning, which was a relatively short time for a booking. Her bail bondsman arrived expediently and arranged for bail. I think the amount was something around $550 on that particular charge, and so it wasn't necessary to put her through the complete procedure. However, she was handled just like any other person that would be arrested and brought to this facility.
Was she put behind bars, so to speak?
Yes, she was put behind bars, so to speak, but she hadn't been run through any bath procedure. She probably had been searched and property taken away from her and then reissued at the time that bail was set and released right through here where we're standing now.
Thank you very much, Deputy Cooner.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Okay. Are we rolling? Let's go. Lieutenant Wesley, what can you tell me about the arrest last evening of Hedy Lamarr?
Well, I can tell you basically what I've learned from the arrest report and the arresting officers, or not the arresting officers, but the transporting officers. Ms. Lamarr was arrested by a Helen McGarry, who is a store security agent for the May Company at 6067 Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. Mrs. McGarry observed Ms. Lamarr to pick up several items of cosmetics, jewelry, and clothing, put the items into her handbag and into her coat pocket, then transferred the items into a shopping bag and walked out of the store without making an attempt to pay for them. Ms. McGarry then went out to the parking lot and placed her under arrest for shoplifting.
What part has the Los Angeles Police Department played in this?
We're merely transporting. We ascertain that a legal arrest has been made, a legal private person's arrest, and then transport the person for the private person arresting and assist her in making the arrest reports.
Where did you take Miss Lamarr?
She was booked at the Sybil Brand Institute, which is the county detention facility for females.
Has she been released on bail?
It's my understanding that she was released on $550 bail.
Could I see the arrest report?
Yes.
And take a look at this and see what some of the items are. 8 greeting cards, a bottle of Christian Dior cologne, a bottle of Coty moisture hand lotion, a bottle of cologne for men, 1 lip brush, 3 hair bands, 1 print velour handbag, 1 bikini panty, 1 eye makeup, 1 coral beads, 1 pin, 2 earrings, 1 blue knit slippers, 1 lipstick, 2 pairs of Peds, and a 2-piece knit suit. Champagne in color with a total value of $86. Was there any effort made to pay for this?
No, there was no effort on her part at all to pay for the items prior to leaving the store. However, after she was arrested, she made an offer to pay for them.
I note on the arresting report right here that Miss Lamarr is quoted, or it says the defendant is quoted as saying, "I didn't mean to steal anything. I'll be glad to pay for the items. I have the money." I heard a rumor, Lieutenant, that Miss Lamarr had checks in her purse to a large quantity of money. Can you tell me anything about that?
She had 2 checks, total amount of $14,000. I believe they were royalty checks of some sort.
Cut it, please. Lieutenant, is there any previous history of this sort of action, shoplifting, by the defendant?
I have no knowledge of any prior arrest by her, or of her. However, the security agent, Mrs. McGarry, stated that she had seen Miss Lamarr in the store some 3 weeks ago, saw her shoplift a sweater and leave the store with it. However, Miss Lamarr got lost in the crowds of people before Miss McGarry could apprehend her.
Thank you very much. Okay.
I have no feelings at this point.
Were you shocked?
No,
angry,
I'm not shocked at that, no.
You expected
I'm
something like this?
No, but I wasn't shocked. It isn't that important.
This is going to go into your book, I trust.
Oh, yes, indeed.
What's the name of that book?
The longer I wait, the better the book gets.
Have any ideas on the title yet?
Well, yes, but I'll tell you this some other time.
Okay.
Okay?
Did you talk to Mr. Gordon? Was he aware that you were entering the
No,
hospital?
he just fired me.
Fired?
But, fired.
Miss Lamarr entered the Westwood Hospital at 2112 South Barrington Avenue in West Los Angeles for one complete day of rest. As you can well imagine, the events leading up to it, being arrested, incarcerated, questioned for several hours. Then on Sunday, she underwent, with Mr. Burt Gordon, the producer of the film, several script changes which lasted throughout the afternoon. Another matter which was tremendously on her mind was the fact that this afternoon, her son, Anthony John Loder, reported for a physical examination at the request of his draft board. Health-wise, Miss Lamarr was to have a root canal cared for by a dentist. Part of the work was done, part of it is yet to be done. And due to all of this, it was felt advisable for her to spend one good day in the hospital and have a good rest from phone calls, telegrams, doorbells, people calling and wishing her well, and what have you. Last evening at the hospital, Miss Lamarr received the following telegram from the producer. You are hereby notified that your failure to report on the set today pursuant to your contract and our instructions to you notified that your failure to report on the set today pursuant to your contract and our instructions to you is a material breach of that contract, and that we shall hold you responsible for all damages which we have herefore and hereafter will sustain as a direct and proximate result thereof. Berkeley Productions, Incorporated, Burt I. Gordon, President. Last evening, approximately 8 o'clock, Miss Lamarr returned home to get a good night's sleep and prepare for the film this morning. She arose at about 8 o'clock and shortly thereafter received the following registered letter. It confirms the sending of the telegram to her and is signed by Burt I. Gordon, President. After a good day's rest, Miss Lamarr awoke this morning, to use her words, feeling fresh as a daisy, ready, willing, and able to perform her work pursuant to the terms of the contract. A few additional matters. There was some mention in the press of the wardrobe being prepared by Edith Head. The dress being worn by Miss Lamarr in the following picture, which was to be used on the set, was purchased by Mr. Gordon in a company with Miss Lamarr at Erna's Dress Shop on Beverly Drive and paid for by him the amount of $165.
Mr. Gordon Mr. Lawrence, is that the same dress and jewelry that she was painted in? 2 pictures worth $10,000 for the motion picture?
It is my understanding this is the dress which was to be used in the shot, which was to be the major part of the film.
Well, I saw a picture, a portrait painted of her today. in which she appeared to be wearing this dress, and there were two of these portraits supposedly worth $10,000 that had been painted for the motion picture.
Yes.
And supposedly these pictures are, to coin a phrase, shot, because she will no longer be in the picture. Inasmuch as you mentioned that she may be held for damages to the picture, would she be held also for the cost of those two pictures, portraits?
No, I didn't say that she was to be held for damages. I'm merely quoting the communication sent to her by the producer.
I didn't mean to interrupt your train of thought.
Surely. I noted that there was a statement in the press that the continuance was a subject which we won't discuss. The matter was fully discussed yesterday, I believe. Here is the script with the numerous items which were changed and altered Sunday throughout the lengthy change of script.
Mr. Lawrence, when we arrived here today, we were told that Miss Lamarr would appear herself to make a statement. Has anything happened in the meantime that changed her mind?
It was my understanding that from early this morning there was no promise or even a mention that Miss Lamarr would make any statement.
Well, if she got up this morning as fresh as a daisy, is it impossible for her to appear in front of the press?
It isn't impossible for her to appear at all. The items which we're mentioning here, I believe, could be fully explored without the necessity of Miss Lamarr making an appearance.
Can they be explored without an attorney present? What have you done up to this point that necessitates having an attorney, a lawyer here? Couldn't Miss Lamarr or a spokesman have also told us about the letter and the script?
Well, I am making the statements to you at the request of Miss Lamarr.
She requested you as an
Yes,
attorney?
there has been no legal action entertained by either the company or myself as of right now.
Is this a fairly familiar thing for you to do as an attorney, to represent in a non-legal capacity a client?
No comment on that.
Mr. Lawrence, wouldn't it be more convincing? Wouldn't it be more convincing if she came out herself to show that she's ready to appear in this picture?
I don't believe that's necessary.
Does she know that Zsa Zsa Gabor is to replace her in the motion picture?
I had heard the name Merle Oberon.
Well, we were told by a short time ago by the producer that it would be Zsa Zsa Gabor, and Mr. Gordon also stated that there was another script being readied for Miss Lamarr. Does she know anything about the second picture, which she will be asked to appear in place of this one?
Mr. Gordon had spoke to Miss Lamarr Sunday about a second script.
We understood that a studio car drove up to the home to pick Miss Lamarr up on the day she was in the hospital. Now, didn't the studio know that she was ill or had been in the hospital that day?
The studio was told that Miss Lamarr was in the hospital for one good day's rest.
They still sent the car?
I have no knowledge of the time elements here.
Mr. Lawrence, as her attorney, is it your opinion that she has or has not been legally fired by Gordon?
I would rather not comment on that.
Mr. Lawrence, do you contemplate any legal action against the Big Gordon production?
There has been no action contemplated at this time against the producer.
Is there any grounds for it under the contract?
I would rather not discuss that.
What exactly is the purpose of this conference here? To protest the termination of the contract?
Well, I felt that the statement that there was a mutual understanding between Miss Lamarr and the producer that she not do the film was incorrect, and I felt that this should be cleared up.
Does it not seem odd that with all the preparation, including Mr. Gordon's quote of two portraits worth $10,000, costumes, other preparations that were made for the picture, does it not seem rather odd that for one day they would put her off the picture?
Well, to use a short phrase, I am simply shocked at this decision.
Do you consider your client employed at present?
Yes.
By whom? May we ask by whom?
I'd rather not comment on that.
Mr. Lawrence.
The real reason for this is the shoplifting charge, and that the rest of these incidents are simply a smokescreen?
No, I believe Mr. Gordon's statement that this has nothing at all to do with the shoplifting charge.
Mr. Lawrence, what is Miss Lamarr doing right now? Is she in bed, or is she mobile, or?
Miss Lamarr, as I stated before this morning, was ready, willing, and able to perform the film and is simply retired in the house.
The young blonde lady told me about 2 hours ago that Miss Lamarr felt very poorly this morning. That's why she couldn't come out at that time. Has this changed in 2 hours?
I have no knowledge of this.
Is there any specific reason why she cannot come out right now?
Well, she underwent a complete day's rest because of all of the notoriety, the excitement, the problems involved, and I would see no reason to continue this. There were no plans for her to appear.
Has the developments with the studio perhaps depressed her again? Is she unable to appear?
Well, she would like very much to do the film.
Well, getting back to the legal aspects of the thing, Counselor, is she in a position where she can sue for breach of contract?
I would rather not. I would rather not comment on the legal entanglements of the matter.
Gordon is saying he is doing this because she refused or did not show up yesterday. Is that correct?
That's right.
And what were the times and dates that she was in the hospital?
She entered the hospital approximately shortly after.
Department 11, Division 11. Walk right down.
Lamar, what's happened about the movie that you were going to appear in?
Oh, I don't recall. It's been quite a while ago.
Have you heard from the producer at all? Is it Mr. Gordon?
Oh, no. Not that I can recall at the moment.
You're not going to appear in any movie at the moment?
Possibly, but not that. Wasn't any part anyhow to start with. Wasn't very important.
So, go back to collecting garbage.
Oh, real happy. I've been gone for 2 days, you know. I've missed 2 days.
Come on. Where are we going to see these pictures?
Well, yes, but it won't be direct like this.
Move in.
Face the camera. You're on camera. Smile, Terry. You're on candid camera.